Hey, this is Kim.
And I'm Deborah from Lura Lee's.
And you're watching Good Day Paris.
That's right, Good Day Paris.
And welcome to Good Day Paris. We're your hosts, Terry Keel.
And Angie Gallimore.
Yep, that's her.
Our show this week is a continuation about New Year, and a bit more. We're so excited to be here with you. We have a great show planned today. We have Josh Simmons with us, and he's with Outlander CrossFit Gym, as well as Lori Roberts and Jane Etheridge with Phases to Freedom, and the folksy, twangy West Tennessee sounds of the wonderful Brian McCadams as our musical guest today.
But first, I want to introduce a new topic for Good Day Paris. And I'm calling it, I don't know, good stuff to know.
I like that.
Do you?
I like it.
Well, because there's so much good stuff to know about. You know, we need to talk about those things.
Right.
So, Ange, did you get the last AARP?
I'm not old enough to get the AARP.
Oh dear. I knew that. I forgot.
That's
See, that's what happens when you get older, okay? You forget. Okay.
My time's coming.
My bad. Okay. Well, they're amazing when you get them, okay?
All right.
Anyway, it mentions America's new war against heart disease. And I didn't even know we had a war against heart disease. But it highlighted the need for weight loss in America. And midlife and younger adults are dying of heart disease. Death rates from heart disease rose 8.5%, which is substantial, I think. I think it is.
Yeah.
For adults ages 45 to 64 between 2010 and 2020. Well, and they said we once had this under control for a while, but it looks like the killer, heart disease, has returned in record numbers. Mm-hmm. And older adults are dying from it as well. So now they say the COVID pandemic injected rocket fuel into the heart disease resurgence. Mm-hmm. And it's a known fact that the blood vessels are the most likely to clog in the body. And I know you know that being an RN,
right.
So, you know, and nearly half of all attacks have no symptoms at all. So you can actually have a heart attack and never even know you had one.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. So this is something to be concerned about, Ange. And they mentioned that the best food for your heart might actually be bananas.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. So everybody eat a banana. Well, anyway, I can hardly believe that, but it's true. And believe this or not, spare parts for your heart may actually now come from outer space.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. No more pig valves, huh? I guess. I don't know. Recently, NASA blasted cardiac stem cells into space for an Emory University study to see if they would become beating heart muscle cells faster in zero gravity conditions.
Oh.
So isn't that interesting?
Okay.
And it worked.
Wow.
So yeah, so it looks like, you know, the hospitals and all the doctors are going to be using those things from now on. It's crazy how things are changing. But anyway, they also say exercise is good, and a diet will also prevent heart disease. So looking at preventions now, I'm really very glad that I'm currently on my diet.
Yes.
Oh boy. And with healthy foods and power-packed fuelings.
Right.
Yeah, I watched a video today on how those fuelings are all good. It's all powerful. It's vitamins, it's minerals, it's packed with proteins, and I'm like, oy. I'm so I'm so glad I did this.
Right.
But anyway, we only get one heart, Ange, so I'm going to take care of mine.
Yes.
What about you?
Yes, absolutely. And the good thing is, you know, with our heart, our lungs, our body in general, whenever we do treat it right, when we take care of it, God has made us where where things can reverse a little bit.
Right.
It may not be completely back to normal, but
Right.
we can reverse signs of aging. We can reverse problems that we've caused in our organs, liver.
Absolutely.
There's things that can get better after we start taking better care of ourselves. So.
And it all starts with taking better care of ourselves.
Yes.
So yeah, so anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that little bit of information. I thought it was interesting to get out there and let us all know that we need to be concerned about these things, especially as we get older.
Right. And, speaking of getting older, a lot of times the struggle is in our mind.
It could
Our
be.
brain,
right.
And I'm real interested in a book that I saw today by Dr. Daniel Amen, and he's talking about our mind and how you can do things to exercise your mind and
That's
to
interesting.
actually reverse aging in your mind and think clearer and get rid of the fog and
So I
all
can
these
tell
kinds of
myself I'm
things. So-
21 again. And
Yes, yes. So I'm interested in seeing what that has to say. But yeah,
well, mind over matter, right?
right.
I
That's
believe
right.
that. Yeah.
So I want to mention to visit us on our YouTube channel at gooddayparis.com, and you can find more content about us on myparistv.com. And while you're there, please subscribe and follow us on social media. And as always, hit the like button.
Right.
So Parker, my little boy, would be so jealous that I get to say, hit like and subscribe because he loves YouTube.
Oh, that's interesting. So anyway, Angie, let's get our continuation of the New You, New Year show rolling.
Yes.
And speaking, of course, of New You, and really kind of more like New Me.
Yes.
Because this is so exciting. I'm still on my diet.
Yes.
I'm not cheating, doing really well, and it's been a great 4 weeks so far, and I can report I've lost 15 pounds in this time.
Woohoo! 15 pounds.
I am so
That's
loving
great.
this, so I'm now down another notch. I'm not in the, well, I'm not going to say.
You've gotten into a new set of 10, right?
Category,
Down into-
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and as with all diets, I went through this bit of a lull last week and a few days into the week before, which was a little difficult for me because, I was really prayerful, just saying, Lord, get me through this, whatever I have to do, help me break through and get to the other side, and it worked.
Yes.
And I finally did. And I guess, is that pretty much normal with, diets where you go through a lull like that?
It can be. And the main thing is to do like you did. You knew you were doing what was right.
Right.
And you can't compare yourself to other people and their progress.
That's right.
You have to do what's right and stay consistent, and eventually your body will give up the fight and stop holding on to that fat because it
Yes.
thinks that you're starving it,
It
and it
does.
will start getting in the groove with what you're doing. So, but yeah, I'm proud of you for not getting discouraged because your expectations maybe weren't being met. You just kept working and kept doing the right thing, and then now you're starting to see results from it. And that's the important thing.
It
is to not
is.
give up and realize this is a journey.
Yes.
And it's a lifestyle change. And
Yes.
it's not just something that we're supposed to have a quick fix overnight. It's, if that's the case, then more than likely we're going to gain it back once we quit doing.
Yeah,
know,
that
whatever
always has
program,
happened.
so.
I mean, because at my age, I can tell you I've been on more than one diet.
Yes.
And I always did go back. I started out being like a size 1, 2, and then went all the way to a 20 recently, which was the most I've ever weighed. But now I'm down into a 16 already, so that's making quite a difference. And I'm hoping, to go back down into like a 6, 8, something
Right.
like that. So I'll be happy with that. But how long those lulls last, and this is something a lot of people on diets, and a lot of people are doing diets right now, because they're the new year, the new you, they're going to the gym, which is good,
Yes.
Getting muscle and getting rid of fat. And we'll have Josh up here in a little bit. We'll be talking about all of that.
Right.
And, it's just that those lulls, they can last a long time. Mine was actually the 13th day
Yes.
And then I broke through. So I would like to encourage anybody out there that's on a diet, that's not losing weight right away, hang in there, hang tough, because the 13th day I finally went down that pound that put me somewhere else. And man, am I happy to be there now. So I met the challenge.
Weren't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So anyway, what's going on with you this week, Ange?
Well, we're getting back into the school routine and just work, and work is exciting and busy, and lots of good things happening at the hospital. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, lots
I'm
of
glad to hear that.
opportunities to encourage people in their health, and so it's been a good week. And like I said, I'm going to check that book out on our minds, and maybe we can talk about that just a little bit. So.
I want to hear about that. I want to hear all
Yeah.
about that, because it does sound interesting. And I do believe that there is a lot that we tell ourselves how we're going to feel, and we will feel better. It seems almost like you're faking it till you're making it, you know, because you're just telling yourself things that you're like, well, it's not really happening. I don't really see it, but, you know, that's faith. That's faith.
Right.
Faith is doing what we don't see. It's walking in what we don't see. And so it's just faith to move forward. And I like that.
Yes.
You know, I really think that's what it's all about.
Right.
So I do want to hear about that book.
Yeah, and community.
I want a book report, a full report.
A book report, that's right. And community is important. And
Yes,
I was
it
thinking
is.
about something in my Bible reading this morning, talking about our involvement as a body, being involved in the church body.
Right.
But it makes me think about everybody that we have on here as guests tonight, even you and I going through the weight loss journey together, supporting one another. And it would be easy to quit without encouragement, you know.
It would be.
And Josh with the CrossFit, it's a family, a group of people doing that together, and I know they encourage each other, root each other on. I've been there with that. And then with Phases to Freedom, it's the same thing. It's a family, it's support. Everybody knows they're in it together, and they're supporting one another.
Lots of accountability, which is a good thing. That's
And
a
then
good thing.
With church, the things I was reading about that this morning, the Holy Spirit uses each of us as a body together to help us know what our job is in the church, what our gift is, what it is that they see in us. And if we're not with other people, then nobody can tell us what they might see the Holy Spirit doing in us, and how He's put us together in the body to work. So, So
it's important.
Yeah.
Very important to be there for one another and hold each other accountable and love one another, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yes. So that's kind of where I am today.
So, well, I'd like to have you introduce Brian to us. He is our musical guest today, if you would.
Yes, and when I
his
walked
bio?
in and met Brian, I didn't realize we both grew up in Puryear.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
per
and then
year.
we were talking about Miss Jane Etheridge that's on tonight, that he grew up next door to her for a little while. And
Oh, goodness.
With my little brothers, Stephen and Grant Gallimore. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've had a good conversation getting started. But so Puryear is a couple of hours northwest of Nashville, and Brian was raised up in a Pentecostal church there and learned all about harmonies and singing hymns with his little brother under the church pews. And so this is kind of led into his simplistic lyrics and folksy vocals that you can hear in his songs. And he's been inspired by singer-songwriters like James Taylor and John Prine. And so he puts these influences into his own music. And his latest jingle, Just Shy of Nashville, talks about the world that he lives in and how the folks around his area are a little backwards, and simply put, just shy of Nashville. So we are looking forward to hearing from you tonight, Brian.
Thank you.
And I guess he's going to do... Your first song is going to be Where Does the Weekend Go?
Yeah, so a couple years ago, was sitting in a local business center parking lot, actually waiting on my wife to get out of work, and it was a Monday morning, and I'm thinking, man, where's the weekend go? So I thought it would be kind of cute to make the weekend a person and say, where do they go, right? So that's what I'm gonna play for you next. And I hit my old buddy Paul Hope grew up, and we co-wrote this one together. He put some pretty cool lines in there too, and some music stuff. So hope you guys enjoy this. Friday rolls around, and it's time to hit the town for the weekend. What is there to do? Drink beer and shoot some pool with your best friend. Oh, it's cool and lots of fun, especially when the sun is shining. But come Sunday afternoon, he sings a different tune. 'Cause Monday morning's coming, you don't know what to do. Where does the weekend go? When we go back to work, does he sit at home alone? Take a walk in the park when the curtain has closed on the last Sunday show. Oh, I wonder, where does the weekend go? Another week has passed, we're about to have a blast on the river. Float down the Muscle Shoals, throw out some fishing poles, and just sit right here. Oh, the wind and the waves, all our blues washed away, we're smiling. But as the sun starts to fade and the night comes out to play, we'll both say goodbye and go our separate ways. Where does the weekend go? When we go back to work, does he sit at home alone? Take a walk in the park when the curtain is closed on the last Sunday show. Oh, I wonder, where does the weekend go? Is he at the train station or gone on vacation? Who knows? Well, there's no explanation for his destination. That's why we're all singing this song. Where does the weekend go? When we go back to work, does he sit at home alone? Take a walk in the park when the curtain has closed on the last Sunday show. Oh, I wonder, where does the weekend go? Where does the weekend go? When we go back to work, does he sit at home alone? Take a walk in the park when the curtain has closed on the last Sunday show. Oh, I wonder, where does the weekend go? Where does the weekend go? Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. That was wonderful. So we'll hear a little bit more from you in just a little bit. And
We'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to it. So this is Josh Simmons.
Yes.
We're so glad you came tonight.
Well, glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so you're with Outlander CrossFit.
That is correct. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So I'm not going to talk to you like I don't know you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Make
Josh
me very
and I,
nervous.
that's right. We know each other real well.
That's right.
So tell us about Outlander CrossFit then and how you got started with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a previous CrossFit gym in town, and through COVID, just never really recovered. Mm-hmm. And some of the members, some very close friends of mine, Ben Malone, Michael Turner, we were working out there together, and just out of nowhere, one of them one day says, "Hey, let's open a gym." And I was like, "That's crazy." And we started thinking about it and talking about our talents and where God had gifted us individually, and we thought, man, this could really work. And we approached some of the previous coaches from the previous gym, and they were all on board. And we brought 40 new members day one, so that was really
Wow.
exciting.
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
Over double that now, and we just can't believe that it's growing like it is. We started a new program for the new year and had 15 people sign up for that. So it's almost we say spun out of control at this point, where we're going, okay, we have real jobs that we have to do. We can't go to the gym all day. So
Yeah. So, and I know that's not what we're here talking about, but what else do you do? Tell us.
Yeah, I'm the agency manager for the Henry County Farm Bureau. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And what else do you do?
whatever Pastor Steve tells me to at church.
Yeah, because you're in the middle of a series right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to mention that at church. So.
And week 3 of I Am Jonah coming up, chapter 3. So just talking about the confession of the Israelite people every year in Yom Kippur, they would read the book of Jonah, raise their hands towards heaven, and confess, I am Jonah. The idea that we've all run from God.
Right.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
And again, I know this is not what we're talking about, but if you want to hear the first 2 messages, you can go to tvcc.us and hear the first 2 in the series before this Sunday, because I know you're all going to show up Sunday to hear that. So.
Now it's scary.
Okay, so now
I'll be there.
Now, all right. So then tell us. I know that you all have early hours and late hours, and so how does that work?
We do. So one of the biggest differences from CrossFit versus a traditional gym is the class atmosphere. So we run from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the mornings, then we crank back up at 3:30 p.m. and roll until about 6:30. So it's not a come and go as you please. Every day we'll have a specific workout for you, warm up, stretching, cool down, and there is a coach with you consistently. Watching your movements, making sure that you're safe is our number one thing. We can't stand it when athletes get hurt. CrossFit carries a stigma of injury, but we tell everyone that with increased activity is always the possibility of increased injury. So
Right. Well, I have to say, as a plug for CrossFit and not being injured, it is true if you're careful. Many years ago, like in 2017, 2018, I don't know, I had back pain a lot.
Yep.
And so I knew that I had 2 options. I could either, according to one of the orthopedic surgeons in Henry County, you could either get in crazy good shape or you could have surgery. And I was like, I'm going to try the crazy good shape. Yeah. So I started CrossFit, and my back pain went away, and I've never had it since.
Wow.
Because of the core strength that we built, and they worked with me to get started at my own pace and do things gently. So it was fun and competitive, kind of with yourself.
Absolutely.
And it was good. So tell us how goal setting might be involved in CrossFit, and how could people incorporate their goals into what you have to offer?
Yeah, so your coach is a big part of that in the atmosphere and community. And I love what you guys said earlier, because a lot of people, they get in the gym, they see what other people are doing, and they say, well, that's what I should do. But fitness is very relative, and we talk about one of the great components of CrossFit is we call it infinitely scalable. So we'll have a workout that's prescribed, and that may be the workout that you do for the day. But for someone new or someone in not the same fitness level, that may look very different. The great example I give is when I first started my mother in CrossFit, she was squatting to a chair, where someone else is adding weight, she's squatting and resting.
Right.
We had a 60-plus-year-old man with Parkinson's once that we trained, and just teaching people how to function better, how to live life better. One of the greatest stories of CrossFit is the founder of CrossFit, Coach Glassman. He tells a story about teaching a 70-year-old woman how to deadlift, and the doctor tells her, you can't deadlift anymore, and so Coach Glassman goes to the doctor and says, why can't she deadlift? And he said, she's 70-plus years old, she's going to injure herself. And he said, Coach Glassman says, if she dropped her groceries walking in the house, what would you tell her to do? And he said, I'd tell her to pick them up. And he said, me too, but I'm going to teach her how to do it without hurting herself.
There you go. That's
Yes,
awesome.
I love that. What is the age range of people that come to CrossFit, Outlander CrossFit?
Yeah, so that's, I'm thinking of the oldest member now, and she's going to get mad if I tell you how old she is. But we do have a member very close to 70. And my wife was telling me just earlier that she shamed her this morning, and at her class and her workout. She's been with us for a very long time.
Those 70-year-olds.
You know, it really is. It's something that we joke all the time that the opposite of fitness is what? Right? People would say,
Not fit.
Yeah, that's what
unfit.
people say. But the opposite of fitness is decrepitation.
Well, that's true
and,
too.
You know, if you've been to a nursing home lately or been anywhere where people are out of shape, you know, they have trouble with the range of motion lifting their arms up overhead. And we want to fight against that. You know, we want to push against old age, and not that we found the fountain of youth, but everyone wants to move better. You know.
Right.
For as long as you can, sure.
That's
absolutely.
And which is, you know, kind of what drove me to CrossFit. And if that's okay to take over, we have 4 children, 3 girls, 1 boy. And I remember being almost 30, and we had our 3rd daughter. And I remember playing with her outside and just getting out of breath and thinking, man, what is going on? And you know, and I started thinking about it, and you know, I'm 40 pounds heavier at that moment than I was when we had our oldest daughter. And you know, what I really want out of life is to play with my youngest kid is the same way I played with my oldest. And it just began this journey of, you know, chasing fitness. And
Weight is just so restrictive.
That's right.
It is. You can't bend over to get to your shoes, you know.
Oh, you know, and you think about how many times you go up the stairs and you're winded when you get there.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And it
Been
shouldn't
there.
be that way. Yeah.
Right. Well, so are you going to show us some things that we can do?
If you will let me, I was going to go through one of our foundational movements, and I was going to teach you how to squat.
Okay, well, let's
that
do
all right?
it. Let's
Awesome.
do it. All right.
Good. Let's see if we can get out of here without hurting anybody. Awesome. So tell me, Angie, are we in about the right place right here? Great.
I believe so,
Little
yes.
feedback? Yeah, good.
This
All right.
will work. Okay.
So what we're going to do, the very first thing we were to talk about is how you're standing. And you can face the camera if you want to, or face the people.
I'm gonna take my shoes
Yeah,
off
awesome.
just because- Okay.
So great athletic stance right now. Angie has got her feet pointed forward, and that's great if we're playing a sport, but what we want to do is encourage her to turn her toes out just slightly.
Okay.
And the reason for that is whenever you squat, I want your knees going over your toes. I don't want you to what we call pee-pee squat.
Okay.
All right, so remember,
No pee-pee
remember
squat.
bone over bone whenever possible. So right now you're in a great setup, hips just outside your shoulders. If you're doing this at home and you're watching, the position you want your feet in is where you would jump. If I were to say to you, jump as high as you can right now, that's the position your feet would be in. So Angie's got a great position with her feet. Her toes are pointed slightly out. Her chest is up tall. And the very first thing she'll do is she'll push her hips backwards. I tell people, shut the car door, right? Does that make any sense, Angie?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
like
just,
if I'm doing
just
it-
give me just a little bit of shut the car door,
Okay.
and now come back up. Awesome. So that's our first initial movement of the squat. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the air in our belly to support our back. All right. So I want you to take a big breath, and I want you to push it out against your belly. So big breath and push out. Hold your belly up there. Hold your hand up by the belly, and push out against it. Good. And that's what we want. We're bracing our core.
Okay.
And you don't have to hold it, but I want you to think about your breath. So we're initiate the squat with our hips. Send our hips backwards. Keep our chest up, and come down. And back up. Wow, Angie, awesome, man, that was great. Give her a hand for that one. Yeah, I don't know that I could teach you anything different, except maybe try to put a little more tilt. We don't necessarily want to face the ground, but we do want to initiate that squat with our posterior chain. So again, let's do one more, and I'm going to get you to scoot your feet just a little farther apart. And I love that. I love where that's at right now. All right, and so our depth of our squat is whenever our hip crease is below our knee. All right, and you hit it, right? All right, so let's see one more.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. And up. Awesome, Angie. Great job. Great job. Awesome. All right. And
Now I don't have any excuse to not continue, right?
Yeah, that's right. You're halfway there. Yeah. But yeah, the squat is one of our foundational movements, so important to everything else that we do. And you know, everybody wants to come in and like, hey, let's put weight on the bar. And we're like, no, let's get this down.
Yeah,
So,
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a lot of those tonight.
Oh, you need to.
I'll be sore tomorrow.
Yes, me. Yeah, don't plan on any stairs tomorrow. That's
Yeah. The one thing is when you start doing squats, then all of a sudden you're like, whoo, I need help sitting down the next morning.
That's right.
I know.
So do you have some information, contact information, how people can
Yeah.
find out about you? And
Absolutely. Our social media page is the best way to catch us, Facebook or Instagram. Outlander CrossFit. And you can message us there. There's phone numbers and other information there for how to get us.
There it
What a
is.
cool graphic.
Got it up. There you go.
And in the building, I love that there's some pictures there. We are in the old Milan Express building. So if you're passing by there and you're wondering what's going on in that huge warehouse, it's us. We're the crazy people there at 4:30 a.m. With the lights on, loud music, and the doors up.
Yikes, 4:30 a.m.
Well, we got to get started, you know. So.
All right, well, thank you.
Good for
Oh,
you.
thank you,
Part of
guys.
Good Day
That's
Paris
awesome.
And coming and talking to us tonight and sharing about CrossFit.
Yes.
You've got me like, ugh.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it. I'm
Yes,
rooting for you.
absolutely
Yeah.
we can do it. We can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens us, right?
That's right. Literally, that's right.
I've read that before.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to hear from Brian again. So take it away, Brian. The second song you're going to sing for us
It is Music Man's Wife.
Yes, to give you a little background on that, back in September, my wife had her birthday, and leading up to that, I wanted to write her a song for her birthday. So I made an attempt years ago to write her a song, but it was all right, but I wanted to write a really good one. So I hit my buddy Taylor Nada up down in Louisiana. Me and him's written probably 40 songs together. And we came up with this song here, and it talks about what the women have to deal with that deal with guys who are out playing music, right? So some of you can relate, but I mean, even some of the other women out there that have linemen, that they're out traveling the roads and maybe on a tugboat or whatnot. Maybe you can relate to this song, but this is called Music Man's Wife, and one I wrote for my wife. So. Seen all the shows 200 times. She knows all the jokes. She's heard all the lines. Hanging out in the crowd where the music plays loud under the buzzing bright lights. Just another day in the life of a music man's wife. And she's ride or die, and he drives her crazy while he's chasing his dreams. She's raising their babies, and she misses him while he misses everything that happens in the life of a music man's wife. She watches lovers slow dancing while she sits all alone. And when he's out on the road, most times she stays home, taking care of the kids, the house and the dogs by herself like a single mom. But she wouldn't change a thing, 'cause she loves her singer of songs. And she's ride or die, and he drives her crazy while he's chasing his dreams. She's raising their babies, and she misses him
Wonderful, wonderful. You are so talented. Can't wait to hear a little bit more in just a little bit. But I'd like to read the bio and introduce both Jane and Lori. Phases to Freedom is a faith-based, non-denominational, non-profit recovery program offering a rigorous residential program or an intensive outpatient option if that's deemed appropriate. And we are the Tennessee Department of Corrections, approved by the State Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse. So your primary objectives are to help individuals improve their daily lives, and the program offers housing, services, resources, education, goods, and support to help people. Your objectives are to break the chains of addiction, heal from past traumas, overcome people's brokennesses. So Phases to Freedom firmly believes that each person is important and valued, and they also recognize that support relationships can build dignity, confidence, and a foundation for self-improvement. So this is really amazing what you guys are doing over there. And tell us a little bit about how all this got started.
Actually, Lori should do that.
Okay, Lori, you can do that.
Well, me and my husband had started walking with God in 2008, and I gave him my life. My husband wanted to do a rehab addiction for the drug side of it. My side was to be the domestic violence and childhood sexual trauma. So we just started, God opened one door after another. We started with just a thrift store that was to help the community in any way that we could help the community. That was just giving away basically everything, and God replenished it every time it was given away, whoever needed it. Then we started with a food pantry. And then we just had so many people coming in and having nowhere to go in Paris, Tennessee, in their own hometown to get help.
Oh, wow.
We were driving, my husband and Melanie, Randy, was driving them to Nashville, to Louisville. We were driving them wherever we could find them a place to get into because we didn't have anything here.
Oh.
So we started with just a small women's 30-day shelter. Thought that would help, and 30 days didn't quite work. So it went to 90 days. 90 days quite wasn't long enough. And then it went to a 9 to 12-month program. My husband, Randy, and Melanie wrote the Phases to Freedom faith-based program themselves. It took them 2 years to do it.
That's amazing.
Going and visiting every rehab, every homeless shelter that they possibly could get to see what was the cons and what was the pro, you know. And we wanted people to have a recovery in their life, not actually just get clean for a year and then all of a sudden they haven't learned how to live their life in between that.
Right. So this is really God ordained.
Oh, absolutely.
And it really
it wasn't
is
for
something
him. I could
that
not
needed
do it.
to happen.
I could tell you that one.
Oh yes,
for sure.
oh yes, I can imagine, because it takes a lot, and you know, it takes a lot from your heart and soul to pour yourself out for the other person who is so hurting, and they don't know they're hurting. They don't know how to fix what's hurting. They don't understand that process, and oh my gosh, it's amazing what you're doing.
And what started, and why I did it, and my husband is an ex-everything, and he wanted to help people do that side of it. I mean, heroin, drugs, everything, he was. And I, until I started walking with God and learning how to heal from everything, I was childhood sexual molestation by my grandfather, and then raped and abused, and a child at the age of 14, and my whole life. And I didn't have a bad life, but I've been homeless, and had the most of everything, and then it was like I didn't have anybody to help pick
Not
me
back
up.
in those days.
Not even my family.
You're right.
There was nothing.
You're right.
So that's my goal, is to give back what I didn't have.
Right.
And I know everything that they feel and go through because I've lived it and overcome it with God.
And you know, over the years, I have really seen that people that walk through these troubles in life are the ones who, I don't care if you have a college degree or what kind of education, if
Absolutely.
you have that personal experience of overcoming, then you are the right person to reach out and help that other person, because it validates all that you've gone through, and the Lord turned you around.
Absolutely.
And,
He
you know,
gives
what a
you
beautiful
peace.
thing that is. And I'm here to say, I've seen this many times in my life, where the Lord has done such a wonder in somebody's life that they don't need all of that, you know, college degrees and education and the book smarts. God gives you the data dump, and He puts it right in your heart and helps you to understand and then be able to reach out in love, which is hard, because many times I've done some of this as a counselor in Pinellas County, and you get real burned. People abuse you. They're not grateful for what you're doing. They don't get it, but that's just it. They don't get it.
That's right.
You know, and that's so hard sometimes, because the Bible does tell us that they can't see the kingdom,
Absolutely.
you know, until they accept Him.
Absolutely.
So their eyes are kind of blinded,
Absolutely.
you know, and you keep pushing through to help them see. Thank you for what you're doing for Paris, because we need things like this. There's so many hurting people on our planet, and this is why we're here.
Daily.
We're here as Christians to
Absolutely.
be
We're
the
His
love,
servants.
the hand, the hug, the heart. And oh my gosh, this just blesses me. And there's a lot going on in Paris. I'm really proud of our little town. You know, it might be little, but it's powerful.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Very
and
much so.
I remember talking to you, and I was saying, "Hi, Lori, I'm Terry," and I said, "You know, I'm with Good Day Paris." And the first words out of your mouth were, "So many people are now having a good day in Paris because of what's happening here."
Yes.
Absolutely.
Man, that blesses me.
Absolutely.
So let's hear from you. What about you?
Well, I got involved probably in 2014.
Probably, yeah, about that.
They started in 2013. 2014, it's funny how God just
Oh, yes.
works things out.
He's the God of humor.
That's for sure, because I retired as a counselor for Murray State. So I thought,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go home, take it easy, kick back, not do anything. You know, that's kind of what I thought. God had another plan.
That's right.
So I went into the thrift store because, to be honest, I like thrift stores.
Oh, I love 'em.
So I went in just visiting, and then started learning about the ministry.
Uh-huh.
And so I just immediately wanted to meet people who were part of the program, and I just love them. Immediately, it's just like they're so open, so honest.
Yes.
It's not like,
That's what
you
it
know, you
takes.
walk around in this world sometimes and feel like everyone's pretending. You know, and they're putting that smile on their face. And for the first time, I'm in a place where people are just sharing their pain, their stories from the past, their disappointments in self, their disappointments in life. And I loved it. So I wanted to be a part of that. And then in 2016, the ministry opened their first home. And then ever since then, I just wanted to be involved. It just keeps growing and growing and growing, sometimes growing too much, or too quickly with the fewer people on staff.
Oh, boy.
But it's so wonderful to get a chance to see people transforming their lives.
Yes, yes.
People who had given up hope, and then just to see that beginning of change, and they work so hard. So I'm so proud of them and the work they do.
And thank you for what you're doing.
Well, I love it, and I serve on the board now. We've been working to get our 501c3 status, and so we have a very active board. We just had a board orientation and visited all the homes and the houses and talked to people, the house leaders, and all the people that are living in the houses. So it's wonderful, and then I get to teach a class on domestic violence, which I love. So
what questions
That's
do
it.
you have, Ange?
Yeah, that is wonderful. So, in getting the 501c3, what are some goals that you all have with that as far as how people can be involved? And
Oh, we love volunteers, don't we, Lori? We need people to share their gifts.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That if they are retired or only working part-time and they're great with finances, they're great with accounting, we
Right.
would love to have those people. And that they're really technology
Get
savvy.
the word out.
Two of us
Yes.
are not
Are
so
not.
technology savvy. I'm really old. She's not there yet. But
Oh, no, but,
But
I am when
we-
it comes to that computer, I'm sorry.
we can use people's
They are
help with
intimidating.
marketing, with creating brochures. We need to get the word out
Yes.
as to what the program is about
Right.
and get more people involved that can help in the store. We'd love to have a mentoring program where each person who's a part of the program has a mentor so that they feel that support.
Right.
So, and of course, to be honest, we don't have a lot of funding. We
Well, we
depend
do-
on
we
the
do.
thrift store, so.
Yes, we
Right.
do
So-
have the information up. Phases to
Good.
Freedom needs volunteers to help in the store, share expertise, and well, of course, everybody can read that. But so if they wanted to get in touch with you, they would reach out to you how?
They can reach at the store. The phone numbers are on there.
Oh, there you go. Now we've
There it
got
is.
it
They
up.
can email me,
Okay.
they can walk up into the store, or they can call my personal cell phone. That rings 24 hours a day too. So we are very reachable. And when she's talking about the help as far as everyone in our program, they have to learn how to budget. They have to have a savings account. They have
Yes.
to get their license. They have to own their own cars.
These are life skills that they
absolutely,
learn.
and they
Exactly.
have to learn to carry insurance. They're not allowed to have a car unless they have insurance.
That's awesome. Yes.
So they learn all of that, and they sure could use some mentors when it's time to go buy a car and look at a car. And is it a good deal or not a good? I mean, just enjoying their everyday life. It don't even have to be the store. Just show them they're loved.
What age groups do you mostly see?
Every age.
Every age.
Every age. Every age.
And
How
I
do
mean,
we
we.
say?
So your
I mean,
youngest
we
would
had,
be maybe
the youngest we've had was 18.
18.
18, and your oldest is
She
know,
was 60s. Joe was.
Grandma Joe.
Yeah,
Grandma.
Mama was 80.
oh wow, so you really have a wide range of people.
Yes.
And it's because we don't, our ministry doesn't just pertain to drug and alcohol.
Yes.
Right, okay.
It's coming out of domestic violence. It's just being homeless and lost everything and don't know how to get it back all of a
Oh
sudden.
wow.
It
Yes.
is the one she's talking about. I called Mama. Actually, her kids didn't want to take her in. She had nowhere to go.
Oh,
So they
my
actually took
heavens.
her to the sheriff's department and they brought her to us.
Wow.
She was wonderful.
Yes,
Wow.
she was
Wonderful.
amazing.
That's hard to-
so
hard to
it's
hear.
a variety range of what, because in the midst of it all, everybody has about the same root in the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They've just gotten it a different way.
Well, everybody does
Yes.
have problems, and I see you've got Jessica here with you
Mm-hmm.
tonight, and what did you want her to share? She's just going to share
She's just
some
going
of
to
her
share a little bit about her.
experiences?
She's from
Okay.
Paris.
All right.
Hi, my name is Jessica Lemons. I'm from Paris. I've been in active addiction before, and all praise be to God that and Miss Lori, for God put Miss Lori in my life. I've come a long way, and I just praise God that He's put Miss Lori in my life in Phases of Freedom, so I can be able to get my life back on track for me and my kids, and I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Yes.
And did you want to share your mic there, and we can hear
Yeah.
from someone else? And
Hello,
hi,
I'm Ted
welcome.
McCowan. So I've been a part of Phases of Freedom for a little over a year and a couple months. I gave my life to God in December of 2021 when I just began the program. And ever since, it has been a true journey, extraordinary journey. Of course, at the time I was going through a lot of things. I was trying to get my mind right. I was trying to, really trying to learn my new self, have a new way of thinking. And with me being there in the couple of months that I was, in the beginning, I became a house leader in February or March. March, I ended up getting my own car as well, and I still have it to this day, praise God. I started going on different church retreats, like Men's Encounter, and definitely fellowshipping with the people in the Bridges to Hope Church. Dale and Pastor Eric has been they've been really generous people, and have the things that they were ministering to me and showing me how to really learn God's word, how to get in His word, and just really learn how to walk a new way of life. And that's the same thing that I've learned at Phases with Miss Lori and what Miss Melanie was telling me. It's been awesome, and I end up moving out November, I think, November, and yes, I graduated, and moved out on my own for about 2 months, and kind of hit a rough spot, because life is challenging. All life hits you at once, but that's exactly what they were preparing me for. And she called me and told me, hey, I need a house leader. I need a strong house leader. And I thought about it, and I'm like, and then I looked around. I'm like, well, I've accomplished everything that I wanted while I was in recovery, and I kind of felt for a minute I was stagnant, So I'm like, what do I do now? Well, I guess it's time to get back in and regroup, So I accepted it, and I feel right now that even though I may not completely get it, I think I'm getting closer and closer to my calling that God is calling me to do.
Good,
So,
that's awesome.
It's going to be awesome. God's got me, and I trust in Him. So, but yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah. And let's hear from our next person.
For the intensive outpatient program. I've been with them 7 months, and I just want to thank God for Miss Lori, Miss Jane, and Miss Melanie. Phases to Freedom has really saved my life. Not only have they taught me how to live recovered, but they have also taught me how to live recovered with God. And I thank God every day that He put me where I was at in Phases to Freedom, and they really helped me. They're great mentors, spiritual mentors, and I don't know where I'd be without them, because I was pretty bad, but I come in on my own, and I thank God I did. I was struggling, and I've seen I've turned around. I got my own place out there. They have fought for me to get my kids back, because I am fighting so hard, but I know that I couldn't do any of it without God, and I thank God every day. And I didn't really start living life till I came into the program on July 25th, 2021, and that's when I really started to live life. I kind of always known God, but now I really know Him, and I'm thankful for that.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Gosh, the wonderful stories, and it takes a lot of guts to come on and share your story. Thank you all very much. I know that's not an easy thing, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It kind of speaks to you and helps you find that holy boldness that you need. We all need it. And there's everybody has gone through something in their life. Every single person. I don't care who they are or where they live or what they do in life. There's always something they've struggled through that's really, even just something as simple as bullying, but bullying is really a big thing.
Really not simple.
But
That's right.
there's really nothing simple, but what I mean is we've all been through something and hardships.
Absolutely.
And it's really wonderful to have something like this in Paris, because there's a lot of people that are so needy. I hope and pray that people will answer the call from today's show, and you'll find some volunteers and get some help that you need. We'll just all be praying for that for you.
Yes, we will.
And believe in it.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Can I add two things?
You can
to
add
this?
2 things, okay.
One thing that I think is important, in 2013 when we began, it was a thrift store and just
Yes.
helping people as they came in.
Yes.
Then we had one small house. Now we have Luke's Inn, which is where women
It's the main
come
women's.
into the program, 15 beds, okay?
Oh,
Then
okay.
we have a men's program, a house called Israel's House,
Oh,
where the
right.
men first come. When they have gone through a lot of that program and have started following all the
Steps.
yes, then they have opportunity to move into one of 3 fresh start houses. So we have 2 for women and then 1 for men. So now we've gone from a small thrift store to 5 houses.
She's like,
Okay, that's
And the
amazing.
need still keeps increasing.
Right.
Okay.
It always will.
So that's one important thing. The second thing, and this actually some, or maybe 1 or 2 of them commented on, is we're looking with a dream in the future. Because leaving the program doesn't mean it's easy. To go back out
it
into
isn't
the
easy
world.
for any of us.
That's
you know?
right. But to go back out in the world, a changed person, but all your previous connections
Right.
they haven't changed necessarily.
Right.
So we're looking at having the possibility of a drug and alcohol-free community where those individuals who graduated can actually live close by and
very
continue to
nice.
support each
Support
other.
one another.
So
Hold
that's
each other
a dream.
accountable.
I
yes,
need
it's
to
a dream.
share
I
that
know.
dream.
I know. You don't want me to push it. I know. I got that. It's a dream. And we also, in some of the events, my husband has started. We do try to get them out and playing with everybody. So we also have Paris Cornhole League, and we have started that. So they go out and play in there, and 99% of people don't even know who they're playing beside, but they have a good time and they laugh and they joke and they get to know all different other types of people and everything else. And I think that's amazing.
Right, it is,
I mean,
absolutely.
they absolutely love it, and I think that's just great. So come out and play with them at Paris Cornhole League.
Paris Cornhole
League.
League. Okay.
1937 East Main Street.
I have to get these, I'm the Floridian, you're the Parisians, I got to get this right. All this slang. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. This is really
Thank you
great.
so very
Thank you for
much.
what you're doing, and I do pray that the Lord just anoints you and appoints you for the future, for whatever it is you need. And the information, again, is on screen for us, so if anybody out there is interested in becoming a part of this great process for people, please contact Lori or Jane and sign up and help.
Right, and I would just like to say that if there are people from different churches that are listening,
Yes.
that maybe you would have them out, because I love what
Sure.
you said.
Oh,
both
absolutely.
Of you,
It takes
about-
all of us.
Right, and the gifts that God has given us, going back to what we were saying earlier,
Right.
the talents, the things that you already are good at, you could be helping other people with what you already know how to do. It's natural for you, but you can help somebody else who doesn't know how to do that. And I just think if you would have them at your churches, that they could explain their needs, and then people could come out of the woodwork and say, hey, I know how to do that, and I'd be glad to volunteer. So I hope that you all get some invitations from this.
Yes, absolutely. And we want to hear about it.
Yes, we sure do.
You will.
So thank you all for being here. We really do appreciate you. And so now we're going to go back to Brian, and he's going to do his song number 3, which is Just Shy of Nashville.
All right.
Take it away, Brian.
Just give you guys a quick backstory to it. It was May of 2020. I was hanging out, went to work midnights for a little bit, and my dad was putting a roof on the house, and I'm trying to think of a song that I can explain to other people that don't live around here what our type of living is, and it's what I come up with. And in the first verse, it's pretty much talking about going down like Poplar Grove Road if you're going to head out there to Springville Pump House area. Just thinking about looking around, driving down the road, and what you see going down that road. And then second verse is talking about out there by Buchanan Resort. So hope you guys can pick up on some of that. But it's a dual meaning. So the proximity we live to just shy, to Nashville, and then also some of our outlooks towards Nashville as well. Nothing negative, but we're just shy of Nashville. So 2 meanings in the song, but I hope you enjoy it. There's a camper by a lake. There's a bonfire and a smell of steak. It's a little quiet place where I call home. There's a trailer in a yard, And it sits plumb full of old broke down cars, but it's fun to look at driving down this road when I'm all alone. It's some place where losers can all be winners, beauty queens, the guitar slingers. Put us on stage, we'll take the wheel. No, we don't ask for much, just enough to pay the bills. It's where folks are real, just shy of Nashville. There's a cooler, there's a boat, there's my best friend waiting with his fishing pole. Been waiting all year to thread a line. Over yonder, there's a bar where you can hear some fine music from our local stars. They ain't made it big yet, but they don't seem to mind. And they're doing just fine. It's some place where losers can all be winners, beauty queens, the guitar slingers. Put us on stage, we'll take the wheel. No, we don't ask for much, just enough to pay the bills. It's where folks are real, just shy of Nashville. Some of us are backwards, stay to ourselves, and I guess we always will. Well, it ain't our fault, this is how we live. We're just shy of Nashville. There you go.
Wow. That's excellent. I really like that one.
I do too. That's a good one.
That's a good one, a true hit.
That's right.
So anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself, Brian. How long have you been playing?
Started playing in 2008, guitar, as far as that goes. You'd think I'd be better by now, but I'm not.
Oh,
But,
please.
It's all right. 2008, I was playing like Guitar Hero, I think, and I was sitting there just really getting good at it, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. I need to be playing a real instrument. And at the same time, you hang out with your buddies at the lake and stuff, and you playing the radio, playing CDs, and you end up running your batteries dead. So I was like, man, I can learn how to play guitar, learn these Hank Williams Jr. songs and whatnot, and sit around the fire and play it for you guys. And it kind of started there, and then got into songwriting, and then meeting a bunch of people, and started playing live shows, and it's just kind of taken off from there.
Well, it's been a great progression for you, and you certainly are talented.
I appreciate that.
God-given gift. And let's see, tell us about that Songwriters Retreat, because that was such a success story.
Yep. So Just Shy of
Very
Nashville, I named it after the song, right? So Just Shy of Nashville Songwriters Retreat. So a little bit background on that. We had hosted with another friend of mine some signed songwriters, some house writers from Nashville, and they have a way about how they run their business and things of that sort, and it's a bit guarded, so my idea after that retreat, I wanted to coin a retreat for people who aren't those signed Nashville writers, right? I wanted to get Jimmy Brown from down the street off the couch and come out and write, and then I also wanted to give them an opportunity to get up and play their stuff in front of people, like a showcase. So that's what we did, and me and my friend Burton Douglas put that together. And the first one was at Buchanan Resort, and then the second one was still on that property, but in the big house back towards the back there. It's been beautiful. The relationships that have come out of it, the networking is just amazing, and getting to see some of these people who never played out live or done anything like that, getting to see them and put them on a stage to showcase them was just a beautiful thing. And some of the songs have been recorded as well that got written there. So had a great mentor at both of them, Taylor Nada, guy I co-write with a lot. He comes up from Louisiana, and he does the mentor piece of it. The next mentor I have, he's kind of hard to hammer down, but his name's Kyle Wilson of the Wilson Brothers. They had a big CMT video back 2 or 3 years ago. Excellent songwriter. Plan is to still have him come out for the next one. I haven't hammered out a date yet, but we're looking at late spring for the next Songwriters Retreat.
That is really something. It's just a real blessing to have that for everybody. There's so much talent here in Paris. And I know the producer of Good Day Paris, Kevin Keel, who also is a lead guitarist and loves music. I know that we went up and we visited a lot of people, made a lot of friends. There was a lot of great music going on there. So did you do that all by yourself, or were you working with a team of guys putting that together?
I had Burton Douglas with me. He's done moved back to Kentucky now, but he was doing the sponsorships, going and getting sponsorships, because it takes that to run something like that. There's still a tuition that takes place to participate in something like this, but the tuition still, you want to keep them cheap enough to where people can afford it, but you got to have sponsorships. So he did that, and then he was also running one of the campgrounds for Buchanan Resort at that time, and really helped smooth things out. So what I couldn't take on, he was knocking it out. But as far as the artwork, coming up with the promotion piece of it, the structure, lining up mentors, collecting money, all of it, yeah, that fell on my shoulders. And I didn't make any money at it. That wasn't the intention, I did break even, but the relationships that's come out of that, and it's spread across, this side of the country, is pretty beautiful, and it was worth losing money over, you know what I mean? So I want to keep that going, no matter what, and I hope to add some new people to that fraternity, as what we got
wonderful.
Now. So we had pretty much just about everybody from the first retreat show back up to the second one, with a few new people or whatnot, but just watching their relationships bloom and everything else from there is just it's something else.
So where can people find your music then?
You can go on Spotify, Brian McCadams, BRIANMCC80AMS. It's on the screen there.
Yes.
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, I believe Google Play. Just look me up. I've got 3 songs out there right now. That's Where Does the Weekend Go? I played that. Just Shy of Nashville, and then Something I Can Take for a Heartache. And that's a pretty cute song. I'm not going to play that one tonight, but go check it out, download it. And I'm not going to make any money at it, but it's still fun to get my music out there and, have people enjoy it and hopefully share it, right? So.
Do you do mostly original songs, or do you also do cover?
So when I'm out playing, I do a mix. I'll mix in about 15 to 16 originals. That's about an hour and 15 minutes worth of material as far as that goes when you're out playing shows. Typically do 3-hour shows, so you got to have some covers in there. You can make them your own, but I definitely always try to pepper my originals in there as much as possible.
Well, that's awesome. Where are you playing locally now?
Next Friday night, January 20th, I'll be at Blues Landing.
Oh, great.
I'm playing at 8 p.m. I'll play 8 to 11, so...
Awesome.
You guys come on out and show me some love. I'd appreciate it. Us musicians, we get our energy off the crowd. So if it's an empty room, it makes for a long 3 hours. If it's a full room, you blink and it's over with. So y'all come on out. I appreciate the support.
We'll be there. Well, and you've got another song to sing. It's called Just Like You.
Yep, so this one here, I'm going to hopefully sing it without crying. I got to try to block that out. But we were, right in the heat of the pandemic, and a lot of things were going on. We also had, with elections and things of that sort, things can get ugly in the country. And I got up one morning after the first retreat that I was telling you guys about before I started Just Shy of Nashville retreat, and me and my buddy Taylor Nada was sitting in the living room. I actually woke him up playing Bob Dylan's Don't Think Twice, and I was just noodling on it. And he come in there and sat down, and he started playing a different chord progression, and he says, "How's that music make you feel?" And I said, "Well, I'm telling you how I feel right now. You know, I'm upset with the way, you know, we're treating each other, you know, left versus right, you know, what we went through in the country, and then, you know, racism and the whole 9 yards." I said, "It's just really bothering me." And his wife got up at the house and come to visit, and there in the living room with us, and we started to write the song, and we cried and the whole 9 yards. You know, it was pretty touching. But it's a message that I want to, you know, get out there to everybody. This song is recorded. Taylor recorded it with a guy named Josh Martin down in Louisiana. You guys can check that out on Taylor Nada's album. Beautiful song, but this is my ripped down acoustic version of it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We all come into this world the same way. We've all got mamas to thank. When we were kids, we'd play with anyone our age. Didn't matter what race. Somewhere along the way, we'd let things people say mean more than the people themselves. If we'd all turn off the news and find better things to do, life might be more like heaven than hell. We all see life from a different point of view. But if you open your eyes, you'll see that I am just like you. We're all gonna die someday, though we don't know when or how. If there's one thing I've learned from living, is that you might as well start living now. Don't waste 1 minute, go ahead and jump in it, 'cause you may not see another dawn. And remember, what you do for yourself dies with you, but what you do for others will always live on. Oh, see life from a different point of view. If you open your eyes, you'll see that I am just like you. Yeah, we all see life from a different point of view. If you open your eyes, you'll see that I am just like you. Yeah, I am just like you. There you go. Sorry, I got tripped up there.
Ooh, that was good.
That was good, and that guitar hero worked.
I lost myself there for a second. That's why sometimes it's important just to go a cappella for a minute till you find yourself. But it's all good.
that's wonderful.
That's what music's all about.
Oh, yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
good stuff.
Thank y'all for letting me
Very,
share my
very
stuff on
nice.
this show. It's
Yeah.
been real nice.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for being here. And I guess it's that time again, Ange. We're
It
getting
is.
to the bottom of the hour, so I just want to thank all of our guests, the people from Phases to Freedom and Outlander CrossFit Gym.
Yes.
This has been very educational tonight.
It has. And you know what? I feel like that there's just been a thread that's kind of woven through the whole night and brought everything all together, even with that last song. So thank you, everybody.
Right. Even from what you started talking about, and then it just kind of did go all the way through. It's really amazing how the Lord works, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I know. They say he's the God of humor. I'm
Yes.
proof.
We all are. So next week, we're going to have Tracy Tremblay of Tremblay Handcrafted and
Yes,
musician
yes.
Don Mealer.
Yes.
And so you don't want to miss that. And so I guess...
And we've got a
have you
couple other
heard-
people that will be also guests, and as soon as we get all our confirmations in a row, we'll let you know.
Yeah,
It'll be
exactly.
posted on Facebook, so watch the Facebook. And there we have it there, Don Mealer and Tracy Tremblay. So that will be next Thursday, January the 19th. Boy, where is this month going? It's just going.
Oh, it's disappearing.
So thank you all again so much. Please like and subscribe while you're on Facebook, or go to our gooddayparis.com. And thank you for watching tonight. Thank you so much, and we'll be back with you next week. So have a good day, Paris.
Yes. Have a good day, Paris. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.